Alright, what up everybody? It's your boy Akeem and welcome to this vlog. Here to give you a preview of the Miami Hurricanes for the 2016 college football year. Now the U has a brand new complete coaching staff, starting with their new head coach Mark Richt coming out of Georgia. His offensive coordinator is Thomas Brown, a former player of the Georgia Bulldogs who followed Mark Richt to Miami, and as well as Manny Diaz, the new defensive coordinator. He was actually the defensive coordinator for Mississippi State last season, and I actually do like this coaching staff, and they are my favorite to win the Coastal Division of the Atlantic Coast Conference to make it to the ACC Championship. Now let's talk about the players that are on this team, starting with their great quarterback in Brad Kaaya. A lot of people have high hopes for him as a quarterback due to his strong arm. He could definitely even come out at the end of this upcoming season and enter the 2017 NFL Draft. But let me not go too much far ahead of myself. He is still a good quarterback and still needs to develop more as far as his passing. Now, as a freshman, he had 3,198 yards passing, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Now, he did a better job as far as not committing any turnovers as well as throwing the football this past season with 5 interceptions this year, but he only had 16 touchdown passes this year, 10 less from what he had as a freshman, along with 3,238 yards passing. Now, going over to the running back position and starting with their offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown's been actually doing a great job as a running backs coach over the last 2 seasons as a coach. Back in 2014, he helped Melvin Gordon have a record-breaking year for Wisconsin. He had a great season during that year. He was the Doak Walker Award winner, given to the nation's top running back. And in this past season, in 2015, when he actually went back to Georgia, he helped Nick Chubb develop to become a good running back. And then when he was out, Sony Michael actually stepped up as a good, solid backup who had over 1,000 yards rushing and 5.3 yards per carry. And the feature back for the Miami Hurricanes this year, once again, should be Joseph Yearby, who had 1,002 yards rushing and 6 scores. And I think that Thomas Brown at the helm as his coach and running the football, I think that Yearby is going to be due for a breakout season. Now, on the defensive side, there are a couple of players that are missing out, starting with the top secondary player in Artie Burns, who led the ACC with 6 interceptions. But they do have a couple of players that I do like, starting with a good secondary player, his teammate, and Rashawn Jenkins, who had 3 interceptions in the first 4 games of the season, but didn't show much later on as the year progressed, and I think he could be due for a great season. And on the defensive line, this Al-Qaeda Muhammad as well as Trent Harris, this is a pretty decent 1-2 punch in the defensive line for this Hurricane team. Now, this team is still from representing the U, straight great speed in this team, and I think they're going to use that speed to develop well. And the top returning wide receiver is Stacey Cooley, who has 689 yards receiving and 4 scores, including a 67-yard long touchdown pass from Brad Kaaya. Now, overall this year, I think this team is going to go a 9-win season. I think they will represent the Coastal Division and going 9-3 this year and go to the ACC Championship to face the Clemson Tigers. But we will see, but I'm going to predict Miami Hurricanes as my Coastal Division champion. Now, the next time to catch you guys will be in just a couple of minutes. I have 4 more blogs for today. Thank you for watching this blog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.